Imagine kneeling in the dark, alone, not knowing if heaven still hears you. Now, imagine the air shifts, the silence takes shape, and before you appears a woman dressed in light. Her gaze crosses centuries, her voice isn't made of sound, but eternity. And when she speaks, she delivers promises that can change not only your life, but the fate of your soul. This really happened, not in a dream, not in legend, but to a real man, Saint Dominic, and what she told him was sealed like a divine secret. 15 promises, 15 messages from heaven for anyone who would dare to pray the rosary with a burning heart. Some speak of healing, others of deliverance, some promise peace, others protection from hell itself. Have you ever felt like your prayers were going unanswered? Have you feared dying alone? Have you lost your faith in the midst of pain? Then listen, these 15 promises may be the answer heaven sent, and that you were meant to hear. If your soul felt something in just these first seconds, subscribe now. You may be about to discover the most powerful spiritual weapon the world has ever known. 13th century, France was bleeding. But what flowed through Europe's veins was no longer faith, it was despair. The Albigensian heresy spread like poison. They denied the sacraments, the incarnation, the cross. The church was surrounded, and heaven seemed silent. But amid shadows and blasphemy, there was one man who still believed, a man who wept on his knees, crying out for light, Dominic de Guzman. In a forest near Pruy, exhausted from his mission, he stopped. His body couldn't take any more, but his soul kept screaming, Lord, what more can I do? That's when heaven answered. The wind stilled, time froze, and before him a woman appeared, cloaked in radiance, with eyes that had seen Calvary. It was her, the mother, Mary. In her hands, a rosary, not a necklace, not an ornament, but a chain of beads and fire, forged in a mother's love that cannot bear to see her children lost. With a voice both sweet and firm, she spoke the words that would change history. Dominic, if you want to bear fruit, preach my rosary. In that moment, something shifted. Dominic understood. No more swords were needed. The battle would now be fought bead by bead. Each Our Father would be an arrow, each mystery a divine key. And then came the promises, 15 promises, each one carrying a secret from heaven, each one sealed by Mary's sorrow and the hope only a mother can offer. These promises weren't just for Dominic, they were for you, for today, for now. Before he became the man who held heaven's secrets in his hands, Dominic was just a young priest who couldn't stand watching souls slip into darkness. He was born in Spain in 1170, in a world torn between faith and heresy, truth and confusion. But Dominic was different. He wasn't drawn to comfort. He didn't want status. He wanted souls. He traveled on foot, slept on cold stones, preached barefoot. He begged, not for himself, but for the poor. And when he saw entire towns falling into false teachings, he didn't argue with violence. He wept, he fasted, he prayed. His heart burned with a single desire. Lord, let me bring them back to you. And heaven saw that fire. That's why it was to him, not a pope, not a bishop, not a king, but to Dominic, that Mary appeared. And when she placed the rosary into his hands, it was more than a gift. It was a mission, a sword of beads, a divine weapon for an invisible war. From that moment on, Dominic became a general of grace, founding the order of preachers, later called the Dominicans, who would carry the rosary across continents and centuries. He didn't live for glory, he lived to save souls, and he died whispering the name of Mary. That's the man who received the promises you're about to hear, and if they were entrusted to him, they might be meant for you too. Take a deep breath. Picture Mary before you. She gently holds your face, and she begins to speak. Each word, a blade of light that cuts through fear. Each promise, a breath of eternity on your deepest wound. 1. To those who pray my rosary with devotion, I will grant special graces. Have you ever felt your life is stuck? Begged for something, but heaven stayed silent? This promise says, you'll be touched by blessings that don't come from earth, answers that arrive when everyone else has given up. 2. To those who persevere in the rosary, I promise special protection. Have you ever feared going to sleep, felt something dark hovering over your mind or your family? Mary says, I will stand between you and evil. Nothing will reach you that doesn't pass through me. 3. The rosary will be a shield against hell. This promise is for those waging silent wars, addictions, suicidal thoughts, temptations. For those who feel evil is closer than good. Each bead is a shield, each mystery a weapon. You are not alone. 4. The rosary will destroy sin and heresies. The world mocks faith today, but this promise says those who pray the rosary will be light bearers in the dark. 5. Souls who entrust themselves to me through the rosary shall not be lost. What if one simple prayer could guarantee your soul never gets lost? Mary says, I will be at the end of your road, waiting with open arms. 6. Those who pray with faith will not be overcome by misfortune, unemployment, illness, divorce. This promise says you may fall, but you won't be destroyed. The rosary is your rope when the mountain crumbles. 7. Those who spread my rosary will be assisted in all their needs. Do you share what heals? Mary promises, those who spread the rosary will never go unaided. As you care for others, she'll care for you. 8. You will receive abundant graces, graces you didn't even know you needed. Spiritual gifts that quiet anxiety, heal marriages, restore hope. Mary is saying, what you need will never be lacking. 9. I will deliver souls from purgatory through my rosary. Do you long for someone who's passed? Feel that something's unresolved? This promise is a bridge between earth and heaven. Your prayers can open the gates. 10. My rosary devotees will have great glory in heaven. What if the rosary were an invisible crown, each bead a spiritual jewel? Mary promises, in heaven, her children will be known by name. 11. Whatever you ask through the rosary shall be granted, if it benefits your soul. Have your prayers gone unanswered? Or were they answered differently? This promise reveals nothing you asked was in vain. Heaven always answers, even when it says, wait. 12. I will be visibly present at the death of my rosary devotees. Do you fear dying alone? This promise is the antidote. She will be there. Rosary in hand, tears in her eyes, arms wide open. 13. Those devoted to my rosary will be called my children. This is your identity. You belong to Mary. She knows your name, your wounds, your silence. She'll never leave you. 14. Devotion to the rosary is a sign of predestination. If you love the rosary, it's no accident. You were chosen, anointed, set apart. 15. Those who pray the rosary with true devotion will receive all that their souls truly need. This is the fusion of all others. Not what your ego wants, but what your soul longs for in secret. Mary will deliver it in the right time, in the perfect way. If one of these promises touched your soul, write in the comments, I receive, and share this video with someone who desperately needs a word from heaven. The sea was screaming, the sails were torn by the wind, the scent of gunpowder and fear filled the air. It was October 7th, 1571. The largest fleet of the Ottoman Empire advanced with fury across the waters of Greece. and before it, a smaller Christian fleet, soldiers, monks, peasants, led by Don John of Austria. They were outnumbered, not just in manpower, but in hope. Pope Pius V knew. He knew that if that battle was lost, the Catholic faith might collapse like a tower of sand. So he did the unthinkable. He called the whole world to pray the rosary. Thousands of voices, women, children, elders. The streets of Rome overflowed with supplication, each Hail Mary, an arrow sent to heaven. And then, something changed. An unexpected wind that had been against the Christians turned in their favor. The waves shifted, the enemy ships collided in confusion. And in that sacred chaos, the Christians won. A victory historians call luck, but heaven calls intervention. The Pope wept, and with a heart bursting with faith, he declared, "It was Mary, it was the Rosary." He then established October 7th as the Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, not to commemorate a naval battle, but to remind the world that when the Rosary is prayed with true faith, even the sea obeys. And if that miracle happened amid cannons and swords, imagine what could happen amid your pain. Impossible cures, broken addictions, restored marriages, saved children, freed souls. As Saint Louis de Montfort once said, the Rosary is the weapon of the humble and the terror of demons. Have you been praying yet still feel empty inside? You kneel, but nothing changes. The anxiety lingers. Bills pile up, relationships collapse. And worst of all, God's silence feels sharper than the pain itself. Maybe it's not that he left you. Maybe what's missing is the sound that connects you to heaven. The Rosary isn't just repetition. It's a spiritual bridge, a thread that ties your heart to eternity. Every Hail Mary is a heartbeat in God's chest. Every mystery, a memory of what he's already done and what he still longs to do. Mary never promised a life without pain, but she promised to stand with you when no one else does. This simple prayer, whispered with tears, is what heals the forgotten, what silences a mind screaming with panic, what wraps the pillow of someone crying into the night. If your faith is tired, if you've lost someone, if no one understands the storm inside you, then this video didn't find you by chance. You were called, not to a religion, but to a divine reunion. If these words felt like they were about you, write in the comments, "I receive." That will be your yes to the Mother of God. A simple gesture that might change your whole life. And if you know someone silently suffering, share this video, because no one should face the dark without the light of the Rosary. Close your eyes for a moment and picture Mary holding the Rosary in her hands. She's looking at you, not with judgment, but with the eyes only a mother can have, eyes that understand your pain without a word. She didn't come to impress you. She came to find you and deliver a secret that only open hearts can carry. The Rosary is more than a devotion. It's a refuge, a medicine for tired souls, a sign that you're still alive, spiritually alive. These 15 promises are eternal seeds planted in you today. And remember, no seed from heaven ever falls in vain. Saint Dominic wasn't the last to hear her voice. Today, maybe it was you. Blessed is she who believed, for what the Lord has spoken to her will be fulfilled. Luke 1:45. If any of these promises touched your soul, don't let this moment pass like just another video. Write in the comments, "I receive." This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration. It's you telling heaven, "I heard and I accept." If you know someone who's drowning in despair, lost in silence, share this video. You might be the bridge between their pain and Mary's comfort. This channel isn't built on algorithms. It's built on sacred stories, forgotten truths, and hearts like yours still searching for light. Subscribe now to Heaven's Breath channel. Here, every video is an altar. Every story a breath of faith, every word a candle in the dark.